Step away from the car, sir. Hands where I can see them. That uniform, where'd you get it?
It was issued to me, Deputy. Name stitched right there.
A lot of folks like to play dress up. Medals, too. Those even real?
Real enough that the president signed the citation. You want to read it?
Just making sure nothing's been stolen.
20 years making sure of a lot.
A black man in a Navy dress uniform stands beside an old gray sedan at a gas station near a military base. His medals shine under the bright white lights. But a white sheriff's deputy points at his chest and says, loud enough for strangers to hear, "That uniform doesn't belong to you. I think you stole it." The man does not raise his voice, that he does not argue, that he does not move. But the deputy keeps talking. And every word is being recorded. What that officer did not know was that the quiet man he was humiliating had once briefed 4 presidents, led classified missions across 3 continents, and saved more American lives than that deputy would ever count. And what happens next would end one career and heal another soul that had been tired for a very long time. Before this story continues, hit subscribe so you don't miss stories like this. And drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. I read every single one. Now let's go back to that gas station. Step away from the vehicle. Now. Deputy Ethan Crowell's voice was sharp, dry, and full of power he enjoyed too much. Marcus Holloway slowly looked up from the gas pump. He had been staring at the numbers spin. He had been thinking about how quiet the night felt. He had been thinking about nothing. Now he was being talked to like he was already guilty. "I said step away from the car," Ethan repeated, placing his hand near his weapon. Marcus calmly set the pump back in place. "I am stepping away," Marcus said softly. His voice was steady. Not scared. Not angry. Just tired. Ethan walked closer, eyes locked on Marcus's uniform. "Where did you get that outfit?" Ethan asked. "It was issued to me," Marcus replied. Ethan laughed once. "Yeah. Issued to you by who?" "A costume shop." A man at the next pump looked over. A woman inside the store stopped walking. A teenage cashier leaned forward. Everyone could feel it. This was not about safety. This was about power. Marcus Holloway was 41 years old. He stood 6 feet tall, broad shoulders, straight posture, skin deep brown, hair cut close, face calm like stone water. His uniform was clean but old. His shoes were polished but worn at the edges. The medals on his chest were not for show. Each one came from a place where men did not come back. But Marcus did. He grew up in Baton Lake, Louisiana, raised by a single mother who worked nights and prayed mornings. He joined the Navy at 17. He learned how to speak less and listen more. He learned how to walk into danger quietly. He learned how to survive without being seen. Tonight, he was just trying to drive back to base after receiving a civilian bravery award in a small hall nobody reported on. He stopped for gas. That was all. Ethan circled Marcus slowly. "You know it's illegal to impersonate military," Ethan said. Marcus blinked once. "I am not impersonating anyone." Ethan leaned closer. "You expect me to believe you're a commander?" Marcus nodded slightly. "Yes." Ethan smiled. That smile had no humor. "That's funny," Ethan said. "Because I've met real commanders. And they don't look like this." Marcus did not respond. Ethan turned to the crowd. "Anybody here recognize this guy? Anyone seen him on base?" No one spoke. Silence felt safer. Ethan pointed at Marcus's chest. "Where did you steal these medals?" Marcus inhaled slowly. "I earned them." Ethan stepped closer. "Say it again." "I earned them." Ethan shook his head. "You people always say that." Marcus finally looked directly into his eyes. And still he stayed calm. "I am not here to fight you," Marcus said. "I am here to go home." Ethan laughed. "You don't get to decide that." The glass door of the gas station opened. A tall older man stepped out. White hair. Marine posture. Strong eyes. His name was Roland Vickers. He owned the station. He saw Marcus. He froze. His face changed. His hands slowly rose. And he saluted. Right there in front of everyone. The air shifted. "Commander Holloway," Roland said clearly. "Sir." Every head turned. Ethan spun around. "What are you doing?" Ethan demanded. Roland did not drop his salute. "This man saved my son in Kabul," Roland said. "This man carried him out when his legs were gone." Ethan's mouth opened. Nothing came out. Roland looked at Ethan. "You are standing in front of one of the greatest officers I ever met." Ethan stepped back. "That's not possible," he said weakly. Marcus finally spoke again. "I never wanted to be seen," he said. "I just wanted to go home." Roland pulled out his phone. He showed Ethan a photo. Marcus in combat gear. Marcus with generals. Marcus with a folded flag. Ethan's hands began to shake. The bystanders started whispering. Someone started recording closer. Marcus looked at Ethan calmly. "You questioned my uniform," Marcus said, "but you never questioned your heart." Ethan swallowed. I didn't know." Marcus nodded. That was the problem. The crowd shifted. A woman covered her mouth. The teenage cashier wiped his eyes. Ethan stepped back again. He looked smaller now. Marcus did not smile. He did not insult him. He only said, "I forgive you. But I will not forget." Roland placed a hand on Marcus's shoulder. "You never deserved this," he said. Marcus finally let his shoulders drop. Just a little. Marcus looked at Ethan one last time. Power without respect is just fear wearing a badge. Then he walked to his car. Slow. Come. Oh. If this story moved you, hit subscribe, and tell me in the comments. Do you think Ethan truly learned anything, or only feared being exposed? The gas station felt different after Marcus drove away. Not quieter. Heavier. Like the air itself had learned something it could never unlearn. Deputy Ethan Crowell stood near pump 7, hands resting uselessly at his sides. His body cam light still blinked red. Still recording. Still alive. Roland Vickers watched him with the kind of eyes only old soldiers had. Eyes that had seen boys die for less than respect. "You should turn that off," Roland said. Ethan didn't. Because part of him already knew. Turning it off wouldn't save him.
Within 12 hours, the footage was everywhere. Not edited. Not cut. Not softened. Just raw. A white deputy accusing a black Navy commander of stealing his uniform. A black man standing calm while being humiliated. A Marine saluting him like a king. By morning, Ethan's name was trending. By afternoon, his badge was suspended. By night, his house lights stayed off. Marcus Holloway did not watch the video. He didn't need to. He had lived it. Marcus sat alone in his small apartment near base. No trophies. No flags on the wall. No photos. Just a couch, a table, and a folded navy jacket resting on a chair like a tired friend. He loosened his tie. His hands shook for the first time that night. Not from fear. From memory. He remembered being 12 and called boy by a store clerk. He remembered being 21 and asked if he was lost on base. He remembered being 30 and passed over in a room where his ideas saved lives. He remembered always proving. Always smiling. Always staying calm. Because anger was not allowed to look like him. He whispered to himself, "I'm tired." His phone rang. A known number. He almost ignored it. But something told him not to. "Commander Holloway," a woman's voice said. "This is Admiral Lenora Brightwater." Marcus sat up. "Yes, ma'am." "I watched the footage," she said. "And I want you to know, the Navy stands with you." Marcus closed his eyes. "I didn't do anything special," he said. "You did something rare," she replied. "You stayed human." Ethan sat in his truck outside his house. He couldn't go inside. His wife had texted once. "Why is everyone sending me this video?" He didn't answer. His father called. A retired cop. "Son," his father said quietly, "you embarrassed the badge." Ethan stared forward. "I didn't mean to," he whispered. His father sighed. "You didn't mean to see him as less," he said. "But you did." The call ended. Ethan cried for the first time in years. Not because he was sorry. Because he was exposed. 3 days later, Marcus was invited to a public forum. The city wanted healing. Marcus didn't want a stage. But he went. The room was full. Reporters. Officers. Citizens. And Ethan. He sat in the front row. Smaller now. Eyes red. Marcus walked to the microphone. He did not raise his voice. He did not point. He did not attack. "I have been many things," Marcus said. "A son. A soldier. A leader. A ghost in rooms that needed me." The room was silent. "But I have always been black first." Ethan lowered his head. "I do not want revenge," Marcus continued. "I want change." He looked directly at Ethan. "Change starts when we stop deciding who people are before they speak." Ethan stood. His hands shook. He walked to the front slowly. He stopped 2 feet from Marcus. "I was wrong," he said. His voice cracked. "I was cruel. I was proud. I was blind." Marcus looked at him. No hate. No victory. Just truth. "You saw a threat," Marcus said softly. "I was just a man trying to go home." Ethan nodded. "I am sorry," he whispered. Marcus held his eyes. "I accept your apology," he said. "But your work has just begun." People cried. Some clapped. Some just watched. Roland stood in the back, arms crossed, proud. A young black boy in the crowd whispered to his mother. "He looks like a hero." Marcus heard it, and for the first time, he smiled. That night, Marcus drove past the same gas station. He didn't stop. He didn't need to. He had already taken back what was stolen. His dignity. He whispered to himself, "I don't have to prove any more." Marcus wrote one sentence in a notebook before sleeping. "Respect is not given by uniforms. It is earned by hearts." He closed the book and rested. Marcus Holloway was never invisible. The world just finally learned how to look. If this story touched you, subscribe to this channel and tell me in the comments, what part of this story stayed with you the most? Your voice matters here.